Inter-Airport Europe is marking a major milestone, 25 years of accelerating airport innovation and partnerships. Join us from 7 to 9 October in Munich as we bring together the world's leading airport suppliers and service providers, alongside top aviation leaders and regional decision-makers, to showcase the most transformative technologies shaping the future of the industry. This key event for the global airport sector will feature a dedicated conference and awards program. Over 3 days, it will help airports streamline their infrastructure, systems, and processes whilst meeting rising costs and compliance. Don't miss this milestone edition of Inter-Airport Europe, where the future of airport innovation begins.
Welcome to Airside News.
Okay, close your eyes for a second. Picture an airport. I mean, not just the planes taking off, but all that activity down on the ground, the ground crews, the fuel trucks zipping around, air traffic control, making it all work. It's like this constant, precise dance. But what you often don't see is all the really intricate stuff happening behind the scenes, the innovations, the challenges. Today, we're doing a deep dive into exactly that, the pulse of airport development, ground support equipment, basically the engines, literal and, figurative, keeping aviation moving. We've pulled together some key insights from recent Airside international news headlines. It covers quite a range: staffing issues, cutting-edge green tech, you name it.
Yeah, and what's really compelling, I think, is how interconnected it all is. It's not just isolated stories. Our mission today for you is to kind of cut through the noise, connect those dots that might seem separate, and show you not just what's up, but why it's all so crucial for understanding where air travel is headed. Think of it as maybe a shortcut to getting really well informed on this super dynamic industry. We'll be looking at things like the human side training, especially the big push for greener tech across the board, and some pretty revolutionary changes happening right there on the tarmac.
Okay, so let's start with something you might not expect to be a major hurdle. You probably guess, the biggest challenge is getting these massive jets safely up and down. But sometimes the real bottleneck is, more fundamental. It's training the people needed to manage everything. We're actually seeing a pretty significant issue right now with the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration here in the U.S.
Right. There's this big nationwide push, and it's needed to hire new air traffic controllers, essential for handling future traffic. But that whole effort is being kind of held back by a shortage of qualified trainers.
So it's not just about finding controllers, it's finding the people to teach the controllers.
Exactly. And that's not just, an HR problem. It ripples through the whole air traffic system. This shortage means the current instructors, they're working longer hours. And that, understandably raises concerns about the quality, the consistency of the training those new recruits are getting.
Makes sense. Burnout? Maybe less individual attention?
Potentially. The FAA knows how critical this is, though. They're responding, offering higher pay, allowances, trying to keep those experienced instructors on board. But it does raise a bigger question, doesn't it? When your human resources are stretched thin, how do you really fix a training bottleneck like this?
The answer, often in aviation, seems to involve some clever tech.
Precisely. It involves applying technology in a really intelligent way.
Which brings us to something quite fascinating. Imagine, being able to see exactly what an air traffic controller trainee is looking at during a really intense simulation.
Yeah, that's basically what Addisil Technologies and SmartEye are working on. They're integrating advanced eye tracking tech right into Addisil's MaxSim training platform.
Okay, so it tracks their eyes. But it's more than just seeing if they're looking at the right screen, right?
Yeah.
What does that data actually tell an instructor?
Oh, much more. It goes way beyond just simple observation. This eye tracking data gives instructors these new, really granular insights into a controller's attentional biases, their cognitive load.
Cognitive load, like how much mental effort they're using.
Exactly. Are they maybe fixating too long on one plane, maybe missing something important on the periphery? Are their eyes jumping around erratically when things get stressful, suggesting they're struggling to process information smoothly? By understanding where the eyes are focused, instructors can pinpoint with almost surgical precision where that trainee needs help. It's like a window into their decision-making process in real time. And if you zoom out, look at the bigger picture. This isn't just about making training more efficient. It's about fundamentally improving how we teach critical decision-making under pressure. It could really shift how we design training to prevent errors before they even happen.
That kind of precision sounds incredibly valuable for developing those, highly specialized skills needed to keep the skies safe. But I wonder, with such detailed insight into someone's thought process, basically, Does this bring up any concerns, like data privacy for the trainees or maybe instructors starting to rely too much on the tech instead of their own judgment?
Those are definitely valid points and things we need to keep talking about as the tech evolves. The key, really, is how these tools are used. They're meant to augment the human instructor, not replace them. The data gives this objective layer, you see. It complements the instructor's experience, gives them evidence for coaching rather than just dictating things. It allows for conversations about focus and perception that were maybe just based on guesswork before. The aim is better informed training, definitely not surveillance.
Okay, that makes sense. A tool to enhance, not replace. Powerful stuff in training. And that same spirit of innovation, that drive for improvement, is really shaking things up in another critical area, the big push for greener operations. This is transforming everything from the fuel planes use to the vehicles driving around on the tarmac.
Oh, absolutely. The industry is making some really significant, tangible steps on sustainability. It's not just talk. You've got companies like Vestergaard Company, for instance, launching their all-electric Elephant E-Beta de-icing vehicle.
The Elephant E-Beta. All right.
Yeah, and this isn't just some concept model. It's a real working vehicle. Got a hefty 145 kilowatt water battery, delivers genuinely zero-emission de-icing. They're actually launching it soon at the GSE Expo International in Las Vegas. It really shows a concrete commitment to making ground support sustainable.
De-icing without the fumes? That's a big step. And like you said, it's not just the ground vehicles. It's also crucially about the fuel in the planes. There's this really interesting development with a company called Movi. They've partnered with a Global Impact Coalition, and their goal, it seems, is pursuing a methanol-based route to what's called electrosustainable aviation fuel, or ESF. So what's the deal with this methanol route? Why is that potentially a bigger leap than, say, the methods we usually hear about, like Fischer-Tropsch?
That's a great question. So Fischer-Tropsch, it's a proven process, right? Converts synthesis gas to liquid fuels. But it often depends on specific starting materials, can be very energy hungry, and sometimes, well, scaling it up is tough. Movi's approach, using methanol for ESF, it's trying to tackle that critical scalability problem head on. By developing these new chemical pathways using methanol specifically, the idea is to create low-carbon alternatives that could potentially be produced at a much larger scale, maybe even using existing chemical plants or waste streams.
So it's about finding a pathway that's easier to scale up massively.
Exactly. It's about finding genuinely new chemical routes to green fuel, not just making small tweaks to existing ones. That could be a real game changer for getting SAF widely adopted.
A fundamental rethink, then. That's fascinating. But the green push doesn't stop there, right? It even extends to emergency response, which maybe isn't the first thing people think about with airport sustainability.
True, but it's vital. Look at Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas. They just got 2 new state-of-the-art ARFF trucks. That's aircraft rescue and firefighting.
Right, the big fire trucks you see at airports.
Yeah, and these aren't just standard models. They've got enhanced water capacity, thermal imaging tech, helps find hot spots and smoke, that kind of thing. Funded by federal grants, too. But crucially, they use fluorine-free foam. That aligns with new environmental rules, and it's a really big deal.
Fluorine-free foam.
Yeah.
Why is that so significant?
Well, traditionally, firefighting foams contain PFAS chemicals. You might have heard of them as forever chemicals. They pose some serious long-term risks, both to the environment, getting into groundwater, and potentially to human health. So switching to fluorine-free foam isn't just about ticking a regulatory box. It's a proactive step to get rid of those risks. When you step back, it shows how deep the sustainability drive is going, from daily stuff like de-icing to being ready for emergencies. Every single piece is being looked at through this responsible green lens.
So think about that combined impact for you, the traveler. De-icing without emissions, safer chemicals for emergencies, maybe soon planes powered by truly scalable, sustainable fuels. It's about cleaning up every single step of the journey. Okay, let's shift gears slightly, but stay on the ground. Let's talk about what's happening right on the tarmac itself. Because the race for efficiency, for advanced tech and ground operations, is really heating up. Some big players are making major moves.
That's right. A really significant trend we're seeing is this push to standardize and modernize ground support equipment, GSE as it's known. You've got Mercury GSE and Menzies Aviation, for example. They've signed this master lease agreement covering GSE all across North America.
Okay, so basically a big rental deal.
Kind of, but it's more strategic than just renting kit. It's about aligning their rental fleets and their maintenance services. What that does is it reduces variability. Airlines working with Menzies get more consistent equipment, reliable maintenance, wherever they operate in the network. It boosts efficiency for everyone.
Standard equipment, standard service. Makes sense. And this modernization isn't just happening here. It's global. Nigerian Aviation Handling Company, NAHDSO, they've just invested significantly, put 9 brand new high loaders into service.
Right, part of a big multi-million-dollar upgrade of their GSE fleet. It promises better efficiency, sure, but it also just signals a serious ongoing commitment to keeping their equipment up to date with the latest tech. Fleet renewal is key.
And it's not just about upgrading existing types of equipment. We're seeing totally new designs coming out too.
Definitely. Focused on flexibility and efficiency. Fast Global Solutions, for instance, just launched their new Bravo series, the Bravo Cart and Bravo Dolly. What's interesting there is the design philosophy. They're engineered specifically for flexibility, better safety features, robust designs, modular options, plus better payload capacity. It's all about meeting the changing needs of ramp operations, which can vary a lot around the world. They need adaptable solutions.
Okay, so better leases, modern equipment, new flexible designs.
Yeah.
All these improvements seem to be pointing towards an even bigger trend, something really reshaping the ground beneath the planes. Airside automation.
That's exactly where a lot of this is heading. It feels like the ultimate goal for much of this modernization. We're talking integrated, connected, increasingly automated systems. Look at the UK. They've formed the UK Airside Automation Group. Big names involved. IAG, Heathrow Airport, Aer Lingus.
Wow, major players.
Yeah. And their explicit mission is to drive the adoption of these connected, automated systems right across civil aviation. And it's not just theory. We've already seen successful trials. Companies like Origo, AXA, they've run automated vehicle trials in airports globally. It's happening now.
So what does this really mean for how an airport works? Is it just about, like, robot baggage carts?
It's much bigger than that. What it really signifies is a fundamental rethinking of airside logistics using smart tech. Think predictive maintenance for vehicles, optimized baggage flow, maybe automated aircraft pushback, enhanced safety, potentially fewer human errors and repetitive tasks. It's about creating an environment that's more predictable, safer, and ultimately way more efficient.
That potential for efficiency sounds amazing. But airports are pretty chaotic places, right? You've got unpredictable weather, sudden flight changes. What are the big hurdles or maybe the unexpected problems in trying to move towards a fully automated airside? It seems complex.
Oh, it's hugely complex. That's a critical point. The transition isn't just about getting the robots to work. It's about integrating them into this incredibly dynamic, constantly changing environment. You've got massive challenges around cybersecurity, for one. You need regulations that can actually keep up with autonomous tech. How do you make sure systems from different manufacturers can all talk to each other safely, that interoperability piece?
Right, it's not just one company's system.
Exactly. And crucially, you'll always need human oversight. For those edge cases, the totally unexpected things that even the smartest AI can't predict or handle. So it's definitely a journey, not like flipping a switch overnight. It needs really careful navigation of both the tech and the human factors involved.
A high-tech ballet, like we said, but one with a lot of complex choreography still being worked out. But for any ballet, you need the dancers, right? Which brings us back, importantly, to the people. The human component that doesn't just manage these new systems, but really embodies the airport's day-to-day life.
Precisely. You absolutely hit the nail on the head. Even with all this incredible technology, all this automation focus, the human element is still completely critical. And airports know this. They are actively recruiting to make sure they have the skilled people they need to operate the tech, yes, but also to oversee it, to innovate, to handle everything else in this complex environment.
Yeah, a great example is Tampa International Airport. They're actually holding a big hiring day soon, October 1st. And their goal is pretty ambitious. They want to fill nearly 200 jobs across all the different companies operating there, plus their own internal departments.
200 vacancies, wow.
Yeah, and it's a huge range of roles. Law enforcement, ground handling crews, people working in the shops and restaurants. It's just such a clear reminder that while the tech is racing ahead, it's still people, and probably always will be people, at the absolute heart of making an airport function. Managing systems, ensuring safety, providing services, dealing with us passengers.
Absolutely. It just underlines that technology gives us amazing tools, amazing efficiencies, but that need for skilled, adaptable humans. It remains paramount. People are indispensable for that critical oversight, for the nuanced problem solving that machines can't do, and for providing that essential human touch that makes the whole experience work.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, what does this mean for you listening in? We've taken quite a journey today, haven't we? From the real challenges in training enough air traffic controllers to amazing solutions like eye tracking that give instructors this incredible new insight. We've explored the cutting edge of sustainability, green fuels, electric ground vehicles, even eco-friendly firefighting foam. And we've seen how automation and modernization are totally redefining efficiency on the tarmac, from smart leases to potentially automated vehicles. And finally, circling right back to the essential people making it all happen day in, day out.
Yeah, and if we connect all those dots, what really stands out, I think, is this relentless, integrated drive across the industry. It's pushing for both efficiency and sustainability together. It's not happening in separate little boxes. It's this interwoven transformation, often powered by really clever integration of technology. From the tiniest baggage dolly to the future of jet fuel, literally every part of that airside world is being reevaluated. For speed, for safety, for environmental impact, it's a holistic evolution constantly happening.
Absolutely. The ground underneath those planes is just as dynamic, just as innovative as the aircraft flying above. So as airports keep evolving, blending human skill with ever more sophisticated automation and green tech, here's a final thought for you. What fundamental shifts do you think will have the biggest impact on your own travel experience next time? Maybe even before you set foot on the plane? Something to ponder.